Hey guys, welcome to another video from Historic Militaria. Today we are looking at a pair of German M1916 Stahlhelms that have really been through it and are actually contemporary pickups from World War I. Both of these apparently were bring-back souvenirs from US GIs who were involved in the fighting in World War I. Again, no documentation with these, so just oral history, so take that for what it's worth, which is a great story, but the helmets are as they are, and that's all you should consider if you were going to buy one of these. So this one allegedly came from the WWII area. Again, absolutely no documentation for that, but that's sort of the oral history that's been attached to it. As you can see, this is a standard German M1916, and it has the big protrusion here that all of them have, but one is missing because it took a huge hit from probably shrapnel or a large caliber shell of some sort right here. This is actually just a rivet hole for the liner that's missing, but you have an entry hole right here, and you also have an entry hole right here. I do not believe that this one has any exit holes. So you're just looking at a helmet that looks like it spent obviously a substantial amount of time on the battlefield, but not enough time to turn into the sort of the relics that you see now. It is in relic condition, but it's not an excavated relic. It's a contemporary battlefield pickup. One other thing that is interesting to note on this guy is the green paint that has been added at some point. I have seen other battle damaged German helmets specifically, excuse me, that have a green paint very similar to this spray painted on, and I really don't know what that means. But it's just sort of an interesting thing. I don't know if it was just this is conjecture, and I'd love to know if somebody knows. Correct me in the comments. I'm wondering if it isn't a U.S. team going around counting casualties or something like that. Either way, it's interesting. I've seen it before. This one definitely does have it. This is not the original helmet color. The other thing interesting about this one, open it up or turn it over. Obviously it's missing its liner, but you can see the violence that that one large hit did inside of it. It basically just ripped the helmet like it was paper. You still have your chin strap swivel right here, and we have the remains of a chin strap here on its swivel, just sort of what's left over from it. That's the only thing inside this helmet. It does look pretty grim underneath the black light, so I don't really know anything beyond that. But just a very interesting battlefield pickup, probably a souvenir, I would imagine, within a few years after the war ended, probably by a US GI who brought it home. That's just one example of a 1916. We also have this guy right here. Again, another contemporary helmet, M1916 Stahlhelm, World War I typical. You've got both your projections here. It does retain a fair amount of paint. As a matter of fact, I really wouldn't call this a relic condition helmet. It's a poor condition helmet. A lot of the paint is worn off, but aside from the battle damage, it looks a lot like a lot of the ones that you find today for sale. So you have a bullet hole right here, and then turning it around, we have a large exit hole here. So you can take a look at this. You have your entry right there, and it sort of went on an upward angle, if you will, to your exit hole. Turn this guy over. It does, in fact, have the remains of the liner in it, obviously in extremely poor condition. The leather is very soaked, and I'm sure we all know what it was soaked with. You've got actually most of a chin strap here, which is pretty amazing. It's missing the front liner pad, obviously, but you do still have the leather band that kept it in with a couple of the rivets. And actually this one even still has the cloth bag that held the padding material to keep your helmet a little bit padded. This one has ripped out. As you can see, it's ripped open and it's pretty wrecked. So the inside is, you know, as you would expect. Looking down in it, there's a lot of debris and gunk and rust and whatever else. But just sort of interesting to take a look at a couple of helmets that were probably bringbacks from World War I by US GIs. These were actually fairly common souvenirs. A lot of GIs brought back, obviously, nice examples that were interesting, and that sort of forms a lot of the basis of the American collector market today. But some people did bring back souvenirs that were battle damaged, and there is a definite interest in the US collector market and also the international collector market for these. You don't see a lot of World War I battle damage helmets just because it's been over 100 years and there's a lot more World War II ones floating around than World War I. But I hope you've enjoyed just taking a look at a couple of interesting examples of helmets that have been there, done that, and seen it, and sort of capture the violence of the battlefield. If you like what you're seeing, like and subscribe. We'll be doing more videos on helmets, militaria, guns, and everything in between. Thanks for watching.